from the moment I found out I was pregnant, I started praying for a daughter. Literally. Please, Jesus, give me a daughter. Oh, please, Jesus, give me a daughter. Oh, God, I got to have a daughter. So I crossed my fingers, I crossed my legs, I crossed my fallopian tubes, whatever I could cross, I was crossing. And I didn't just pray for a daughter. It's very specific with what I wanted. I said, okay, Jesus, here's the list. Here's what I got to have in this child you've given me. Number one thing, at some point in her young life, she has to be a cheerleader. Dorsey, you so blue, Frankenstein was ugly too, all right. That's the way we roll at black high schools. And I said, she got to also like get mani-pedis and maybe hanging out at the mall on the weekend and getting their hair did. And then the final thing that I asked for, and I said, okay, God, this is a deal breaker for me. It's very important. Her musical taste has to either be Motown or R&B. Because my husband was white, and I didn't want to spend the next 20 years listening to the Dixie Chicks. So the similarities between us started when she was born on June 5th. Like me, she's a Gemini. I remember thinking, well, damn, we're getting off to a damn good start. And that was the last time I thought those words. Over the next few years, I was confronted with all of our dissimilarities. It started when she was a week old. I discovered she was a projectile vomiter. That's when you burp them, they spew a gallon of milk across the damn room. Well, we sure as hell didn't have that in common. I've never seen no shit like that in my life. The very next day, in a panic, I go running down to my pediatrician's office. Dr. Nakasone, oh my God, Dr. Nakasone, Jesus Christ. Yesterday, Amber, when I burped her, she shot a gallon of milk across the room. I'm not kidding, it was literally a gallon of milk. Well, Dr. Nakasone burst out laughing. I'm glad he found me and Linda Blair amusing. Freeman saw. What baby doing it called projectile vomiting? Hit normal. Normal. Baby soon grow out of it. Normal. Our daughter can knock the cat off the television at 100 feet. That shit ain't normal. But he was absolutely right. She did grow out of it, but not before she had baptized every single one of my friends in my breast milk. The next difference I noticed was her voice. It was deep, and I mean, it was really deep. Now, I know I got a deep voice, but I didn't sound like this until after puberty. It is one thing to sound like Barry White when you're an adult. It's something else to sound like Barry White when you're a 6-month-old baby girl. Hey, is that your baby? This your baby? Oh, you are so cute. You are so cute. And you are so cute. Go, go, gaga, milk. Ooh-wee. Yeah, that voice, it was just a little bit deep, a little unnaturally deep. And then the next difference I noticed with her, which it drove me crazy, came around the age of 2. She began to get this unnatural fascination for bugs. She started playing with them on the playground. She started keeping the mason jars in her bedroom. And on her bedroom wall, she didn't have posters of NSYNC, she had posters of insects. Crickets, tsetse flies, dung beetles, mosquitoes, praying mantis, grasshoppers. Every freaking nasty bug known to man my daughter had plastered on her bedroom walls. And she was born in Misawa, Japan. And over there they have these huge cockroaches that fly. I cannot stand cockroaches. I hate the ones on the floor. I really hated the damn ones when they were airborne. So I had to make it very clear to Amber because she had sneaked bugs in her room before. So I said, come here, little bug whisperer, come here. Don't you bring no cockroaches in your mama's house. Or what about if I find a Madagascar hissing cockroach? If you bring that damn thing in my house, it won't be hissing for long, okay? I promise you, I will knock the hiss out of it. Now this phase of hers went on for a long time. And just when I thought, if I see one more bug, I'm going to pick up a fork and stab myself in the eye. She said, can I have an iguana? And I think I really did that grin. I went, yes! Yes, you can have an iguana. I was so damn happy she wasn't talking about bugs. Then we went down to Petco the very next next day, and she got her first green iguana, and she named him Icarus. Now, okay, you guys, I had to kind of get used to having a reptile in my house because, well, I'm black and black people don't do reptiles. Not little Miss Croc-Huntress over here. I mean, she had no problem. She took to raising a reptile like she'd been doing it her entire life. And just when I'd gotten used to walking around my house and seeing the little green alligator, crocodile thingy, she came to me and she said, "Can I have a snake?" You must be out of your goddamn mind! A snake? That's what I thought. It's not what I said. I didn't say that. Because I realized with Amber that whatever I was against, she was automatically for. So I knew I had to use a little psychology. So I said, "Amber, let me tell you this story I just saw. Just saw in the news a couple of weeks ago. This woman in Redlands had this snake that had taken to crawling into bed with her at night. And she thought it was cute that her snake was cuddling with her. So a couple of weeks later, she'd go into her vet with her dogs, and she happened to mention to the vet about the cuddling snake. And the vet looked at her and he said, "I'm sending animal control out to your house. He's not sleeping next to you to keep you warm. He's sleeping next to you to see how big he needs to get to eat you. Snakes don't cuddle." So I said, "So Amber, the moral of this story is snakes can be sneaky." "No, the moral of the story is she's stupid. Who sleeps in a bed with a snake? I hope he ate her." No, Amber, you're completely, entirely missing the point. That's not what they're saying. They're saying, oh my God, frustrating. They're saying, you don't read their mind. See, that snake will be sitting there and he's going to look innocent. He's sitting there like this here. And he's like, "Yeah, look at me. I'm being innocent. I'm just thinking little innocent snake thoughts. And yeah, I'm looking at me. Yeah, I'm not thinking anything bad." And you know what he's sitting there thinking? "Yeah, I'm going to put that bitch on that grill. I'm going to have me some dark meat. I'm going to add a little hot sauce." Yeah. When they do that, Amber, you know they're really gunning for you. So what I'm trying to tell you is, the moral of this story is, you're taking a chance if you bring an animal into your house and you don't know what he's thinking. Well, you take chances. You told Aunt Dorothy that only white men are serial killers, and you married a white man. Chances too. Yeah, smart ass. Unfortunately, we had that in common. So the very next day, I took her down to Petco, and we got her first snake. It's a ball python that she named Apep. I didn't know it then, but Apep and Icarus were just the beginning. Over the years, I've had so many goddamn animals, I've lost count. So I'm going to try to list them for you now, the ones that I can remember. So go ahead, play that funky music, white boy. There you go. She's had, yeah, I'll definitely make your name up. She's had 4 green iguanas, 3 ball python snakes, 2 blue-headed tree iguanas, 2 dogs, Coco and Balto, and 2 giant African millipedes. Millipedes are basically worms, or you can call them what I did, Tiny Tim's penis. A gecko, a leopard gecko, a Pac-Man frog, a water dragon, a bearded dragon, a bare-eyed cockatoo named Annabelle. Annabelle bit me at least 50 times the first month we had her. She finally stopped biting me when I bit her little ass back. A Pac-Man frog, a white rat, a tarantula, and okay, all right, stop the music, stop it. Damn tarantula Anansi scared the hell out of me. Okay, because even though she was a tarantula, there was something just a little sexy about her, you know? I mean, she was very precise with her movements, the way she would move and look at you with those tarantula eyes, but it was sexy at the same time. She was so smooth, she made you forget that she was a tarantula. You know what she reminded me of? She's the Kardashians. Yeah, they can hypnotize your ass. Sitting there looking at you with them little bug eyes, and they moved up on you. You are not aware how close they're getting to you. And before you know it, they done reached out and done bit your ass. Now, you won't die from a tarantula venom, but it will fuck you up. Look at what those Kardashians done with every man they've been with. He's a drug addict. Bruce, only God knows what he is. Now they got Kanye in their web. And I got a message for you, my brother. Be afraid. Be very afraid. So I was afraid of Amber's tarantula. Truth is, I was afraid of a lot of our animals because you don't find a lot of exotics in the hood. What you do find a lot of are dogs. And I was fine with dogs. We always had one when I was growing up. Until my Aunt Bernice's dog, I don't remember her name, Tommy, turned against my ass one day when I was about 10 years old. Hey Bernice, Tommy, he attacked me in the backyard. He tried to kill me. He struck me, hey Bernice. He wouldn't let me up. And every time I tried to, he kept snapping my face, hey Bernice, and he tried to kill me. She lied, Bernice. I ain't trying to kill this bitch. The last bitch I straddled was Mavis, the Greyhound on 13th and Digger. And the only reason I was snapping at her face was to keep the flies away. So after this, thank you, Tommy, I'm not afraid of dogs. Which makes this next story just slightly ironic. I lived in Japan about 6 years. The first 2 years I was there, I ate at this place called Charlie's Tacos. You know how they say Kentucky Fried Chicken is finger looking good? They ain't got nothing on Charlie's Tacos. That meat was moist and juicy and seasoned unlike any other meat I've ever had in my life. So I had there one Friday night like I'd done for the last 2 years, and I get there and the damn thing is boarded up. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Why is it boarded up? I mean, because I've been thinking about these tacos all day. And there's a Japanese couple sitting over here, so I decided to approach them and ask them, what the hell is going on with this? And I'm here for languages, so everywhere I went, I carried my little Japanese translator with me. So I approached this couple and asked them, why was so I'm like, yeah, hey girl, what's up? Yeah, okay. Yeah, what the hell is, no, Sumiman said, okay, why Charlie's closed? No, okay, Zu not goji naga deska? Yeah, Zu not jo goji naga deska. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, right, okay. Gomenasai, inako neko, honba staimasu. What'd you say? Girl, you say they closed down for selling dog and cat? What? Woof? That's what I've been eating? You sure you understand English, girl? Okay, all right. Well, let me find this. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anatawa e ego shebemas. Yeah, anatawa e ego shebemas. Yeah, you understand English, Miss Thang? Hi. Yes. I am fluent in English. I am a professor at USC in African American Studies. Charlie's closed down for selling dog and cat. Yes. You upset. I have a great idea. I take you to another place to sell the same kind of meat because it's juicy, no? This bitch crazy, she think I wanted to snack on Rin Tin Tin? So after that, I never looked at dogs the same. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Charlie's Tacos, but I had no intention of adding dog meat to my diet. I mean, sauteed sheets and, oh my God, gross, horrible. So anyway, I was talking to my sister one day, and I was just kind of reflecting. I said, it's just kind of weird how you end up with the child that you end up with. I'm like, how the hell did I end up with the crock hunters? I mean, why not get like one of them little sassy cheerleaders or something like that? My sister's like, girl, what you talking about? Amber is just like you. As a matter of fact, when you were her age, you out there playing with the bugs, and you out there on the farm with granddaddy chasing the cows, the chickens, and the pigs. Matter of fact, you did the same thing in Louisiana that Amber doing in California. Wow. Louisiana. I hadn't thought about Louisiana for a long time. It's where I was born. I was the 5th child out of 8 born to Leona and Earl Smith in Tallulah, Louisiana. My parents were farmers, and we had a lot of animals. We had cows, chicken, pigs, goats, horses. We had a plethora of animals. And I remember growing up on the farm. To me, it was magical because you were so involved with nature. And my sister's right. I did play with bugs when I was younger. I spent my summers knocking down wasp nests, capturing anthills, and competing against my brothers to see who could catch the biggest crawfish in the lake. But my favorite thing to do of all was hanging out with my granddaddy, Archie. My granddaddy and my grandmama, Elvi, lived about a mile down from us. And my grandfather, he was old school. He didn't believe in banks, so he buried his money on his property, and that's how he and I formed a bond. The both of us could add numbers in our head quicker than a calculator. He was also legally blind, so he needed somebody to bury the money on the farm for him. So he chose me because I was so good with numbers. I guess you could say at a young age, I was my granddaddy's banker. So whenever he wanted to see me, he would have my grandmother put up a white flag in the yard. And somebody would yell, "Hey, no! Granddaddy want to see you!" And I'd go running over there and I'd look out that window and I'd see that flag waving in that yard and I would take off running. "Hey, Granddaddy, Granddaddy, Grandmama said you got $72.57 to put in the bank. Okay, then come on, Granddaddy, let's go. Okay, but watch your feet, watch your step right there. Okay, Granddaddy, because it's mushy. See right there, the ground mushy. Step behind me, Granddaddy. Get behind me, get back there. Okay, you ready, Granddaddy? Okay, here we go, all right. Hey, Granddaddy, this boy in school like me named Vincent James. I know because he punched me in the shoulder 2 times. I don't like him, Granddaddy, because he got a big old head. Okay, all right, Granddaddy, give me the shovel. A sailor went to sea. Ooh, wait! Look at that big old worm. I'm gonna keep him to see what he could see. Okay, Granddad, through digging. Give me the money. All right. But all right, move back, Granddad. All that he could see. Okay, Granddad, I'm finished. We got some more banks to go to. Okay, Granddad, come on. Let's go. Okay, Lo, hey, wait a minute, Lo. Hold up. Child, where you going? Hold up, ain't no fire. No, remember what I told you about banks? Don't you never trust them. They will rob you blind. That's how I lost my sight. Don't you never tell nobody about these banks. This is me and your secret, you hear me? And that boy that you're talking about, don't let no man raise his hands to you. If he raises his hands to you, you walk away. Then you go get your brothers to whip his butt. That's what they're there for. Don't let no man put his hands on you. So, hanging out with my granddaddy was my favorite thing to do. I think I was probably at their house, more than I was at my own. And then one cold night in December, it all changed when my father ran into my room and said, "Your grandparents' house is on fire." And I ran over to the window, and I looked out, and it's like looking at a scene from hell. You had people running back and forth, and there was yelling and screaming and crying, and my eyes couldn't light on any one thing. It just looked like absolute chaos. People were toting buckets back and forth. And I must have fell asleep because when I woke up, I was laying in my bed, and it was the next morning. I remember thinking, did I dream it? Was it real? Did I really dream it? So I went to the window to see if, it was true. My grandparents' house had burned to the ground. So I went to my brother's room and asked him where Granddaddy and Grandma had spent the night, and that's when I found out they didn't make it out. I don't remember the rest of that week. I remember the funeral next, and there were 2 caskets, and they were closed. And I asked my mother, said, how come they not open? Why don't they open up so we can see? And my mother didn't say anything. She just walked away. And then the day after the funeral, my mother came to me and she woke up and she said, "No, the cops want to talk to you." So I went outside, and there were 2 cops. There was a stocky white cop named Duke, and there was a black cop. I don't remember the black cop's name. All I remember was that he never said anything, and he always sat there looking at me. And as soon as I sat down in the car between them, Duke gave me some Christmas candy. And I love Christmas candy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name's Lo, and I go to Henderson Elementary, and I'm in Miss Banks' class, and she's real nice. I like her just fine. And me and Alan Earl, we're the 2 smartest kids in the whole school. That's what the principal, Mr. Austin, said. He said that me and Alan Earl, we're the smartest. So I sat and talked to Duke that day for almost an hour. They were very easy questions. And I remember thinking that I liked Duke. After about an hour, he thanked me, he smiled, and then he took off and left. But then they came back a few days later. And when I saw the car pull up, I was happy because, of course, I'm thinking about that Christmas candy. But this time, Duke's tone had changed completely. "Well, gal, I hear talk that your granddaddy had some money buried on his property. Is that true?" My granddaddy he didn't have no money, no, son, no. No? I'm sure they said it was Lo that helped her granddaddy bury his money. He said you his accountant. Is that true, gal? Accountant? I don't even know what that is. Well, you know what happened to cheering and tell lies, little girl? Oh, yes, sir, I do. My grandmama told me. She said, first, you get a whooping, and then you burn it, go straight to hell. She said, straight to hell. That's my grandmama said. Well, I reckon that's right. I tell you what, we fixing to head on down to your granny's place. Maybe the fresh air help you memory. Yes, sir. It wouldn't be in this chicken coop, because the only thing in the chicken coop is chicken and chicken poop and eggs. What about over here, gal? What about over here? What about the barn? Did they bury it in the barn? Didn't they, little girl? No, sir. No. I'm not going in that barn. The only thing in that barn is wasps and yellow jackets, and they sting. I got stung one time, 5 times in one day. I'm not going in that barn. Oh, sir, look. My daddy, I can see him waving to me. It's time for supper. I gotta go, sir. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. And I felt like screaming, thinking, Jesus, I'm free. But Duke came back the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. And I suspect that he knew that I was lying about my granddaddy's money. And there was one reason why I was telling a lie about my granddaddy's money. I was between the ages of 6 and 7, and I didn't understand what death meant. I had talked to a good friend of mine, Katie Booker. She was a lot older. She was 7 months older than me. She explained to me exactly what death was. She said, my mama said that as far as she was concerned, my dad was dead to her, but then he came back in a month. Your grandparents will be back in exactly a month. So, death to me meant you die, and then 30 days later, you come back. But in the meantime, the questions from Duke, they continued. Little gal, who didn't like your granddaddy? Oh, so everybody liked granddaddy. Mr. Ennis Chase, Bud Wine, Lou Bud, Lieutenant Scott, Mr. Wiggins, Daddy, Connell, Owen, Mr. Wilson. I said that already, yeah. No, sir, everybody liked Granddaddy. Yes, sir. Everybody liked Granddaddy. Well, apparently everybody didn't like Granddaddy, or we wouldn't have been in that boat. That day, all the questions that Duke asked me centered around the day of the fire. Where was this person at? What was that person doing? These were easy questions for me to answer, and I felt such a sense of relief that he wasn't asking about my granddaddy's money that I think I probably just had diarrhea of the mouth. After about 2 hours, Duke left. The next morning I got up for school and I came into the kitchen and my mother said, they arrested your daddy, though, and you have to testify. What's arrested and what's testified? Well, arrested mean they think your daddy did this, and testify mean you got to get up on what's called the stand and tell them what you know. But my dear, no, he didn't do it. No, remember? The fire. They died in the fire, but no, Daddy didn't do it. No. The cops said that they were dead before the fire. But you ain't got nothing to worry about. It'll be okay. Just tell them what you already did. Tell them what I already did. No, I didn't really want to do that. It seemed like that's how we got ourselves in this boat. I wanted to unsay everything that I already did. And we were from a very, very, very small town where everybody knew everybody else. And right after my grandparents died, people were sympathetic towards us. as my father got arrested, changed overnight. We went down to some friends' houses to play with that we had sleepovers with. And mother told us to get the fuck off our porch and to never come back. At this point, I think I became what I later called the big liar. Started taking back everything that I said. Remember the prosecutor coaching me and saying over and over and over, that's not what you said, little girl. That is not what you said, little girl. Look at this here, that's not what you said. I didn't know what I had said, but whatever I had said, I didn't want to say it anymore. I wanted to take it all back. And the closer we got to trial, the more fearful I became. And then it seemed like it was all over. Poof, just like that. The third day of the trial, my father copped a plea deal. He got 9 years, and I found out later on that he actually got out in 3 for good behavior. All right, though. Let me tell you how the problem between me and your granddaddy started. Started over that damn poison gun. We got cotton crops, and the boll weevil like to snack on your cotton, so you need a poison gun to put the insecticide inside, and you drag it up and down your cotton crops, and it destroys that old boll weevil. Well, I had borrowed it, and I meant to give it back. I'd had it about 6 months. And your mama bragging on me to take it back, and I really meant to take it back, though, and then the unthinkable happened. My damn crops caught on fire, and everything got burned to bits, including your granddaddy's poison gun. He was fit to be tied. He appeared on my porch the next morning, and he said he ought to whoop my ass all over the yard. Who the hell did he think he was talking to? Nobody talks to me like that. And that's when I forbid you from going down there. You won't be his eyes no more. Get around your own property, you bastard. And your brothers, I forbid them from going down to the mower's yard. He can do his own dirty work. You see, this is not the first time they've been trying to pin some shit on me. About 10 years back, well, me and my stepdaddy, we didn't get along. Every time we was in the same room together, we butted heads. I hated that bastard. The one weekend, we were on a hunting trip. We went into the forest together, and I actually came back a little early because I had some business to take care of in town. The next morning, my stepdad hadn't showed up, so they went to the woods looking for him, and they found him. Somebody had killed him and burned him up in the cabin. The next thing I know, I hear they knocking on my door. They want to know, what do I know? I don't know nothing. So they wanted to pin it on me, Lord. You know what I said? Prove it. Prove it. They never could. My father died last month, September 21st. I'm not totally sure what I feel, but I know what I don't feel. I don't feel the guilt that I carried with me for years. My mother packed up her 8 kids and we moved to California, and we never talked about my grandparents since. We all, as a unit, took that nightmare, we threw it in the closet, and we left it there. And it would probably still be sitting in that closet, probably, if it wasn't for the fact that I gave birth to a daughter who liked animals like I did. And she liked insects like I did. I don't think that I was ever afraid of her animals. I think I was afraid of what liking her animals represented. Louisiana and everything that happened back there. So I find it somewhat ironic that the daughter who I thought was so different from me ended up being me looking at myself in the mirror. Why she didn't do her nails? Oh, that's right.